Once again, we are back on Soch's ttalk Train of Thought with a series of an episode with Professor Brigadier GPS Cheema from Indian Army. So it was a very interesting journey what we had with you in our earlier episode, like being part of an selection board. Like, can you throw some light on when you have joined OTA? Like, what were the challenges which were there?
All right. You see, at the Officer Training Academy, I joined there. When we reached there, it was night time, and we thought it's an Officer Training Academy. We are now officers, big dads. But when the bus stopped, there were people who were just pounced on us, and they told us to be. I was carrying a steel box for myself. They said, "Pick up your steel box." I thought somebody will pick up my steel box. I'm an officer now.
Yeah.
They said, "Pick up your steel box." They made me carry my steel box on my head,
Uh-huh.
and they told me to run towards my barrack. I said, where am I now? Right? And it started from there, because when you joined there, we were just a pass out from college. A lot of ego, a lot of wrong notions about yourself. You thought you were somebody great, but the basic structure there at the training academy was to transform you from a boy to a man, and from a man to a soldier, right? And from transformation, they have to first destroy your ego.
Yeah, shut your ego more.
Right? Unless you destroy your ego, you cannot be formulated into a new person. You have to be transformed into entirely a new person.
Correct.
And there is no similarity what you become and what you were there earlier.
Correct.
Right? It's like becoming from a caterpillar to a butterfly.
Butterfly, correct.
Right. So when we were there night time, and throughout the night we were front rolling, side rolling, doing everything. And next day, all those people, I wasn't that lucky, but all those people who were not wearing turbans, they were given a zero cut. You couldn't even identify them physically. So you being a Khalsa, you could still wear your turban and sport your beard.
Correct.
So everybody started looking different. And at the time of joining, somebody was fat, somebody was thin, But after 1 month of the curriculum there, everybody's clothes were fitting everybody. So we came to the
hardship training.
We came to the correct size. If somebody had more flab, he shed that flab, and somebody too thin, he put on a little weight also. But we became a fighting machine. So they have to create a lean, mean fighting machine inside you. Right. And for that, it has to be a mental makeup. When we joined there, we were told by one of our ustads, those NCOs who are the one who are taking care of all our training there, whether it's a PT or it is games or it is weapon training or it is drill or it is fieldcraft. And they are, like I mentioned earlier, they are just gods to us. And they said the training here is extremely difficult, but nobody died because of the training. So nobody dies because of the hard work. And the training is to toughen you up more mentally than physically.
Correct.
Because you tend to give up mentally first before you actually go beyond the potential of your physical abilities.
Correct. So mentally you need to be very strong on that.
Unless you are mentally strong, you cannot take your physical level to the next level.
Correct.
And physical level has such phenomenal potential that we do not come to know till the time you put them through the hardships.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And you can't believe that you are the same person.
Correct. Such
Right?
a transformation like.
Yeah. Now I remember of an incident, we were on a long route march. So route march is We were doing some tactical exercises also, and we were walking. It was about 80 kilometers. And we were carrying our FSMO and everything. So that weight was maybe around 16, 17 kgs we were carrying. And that time we had our shoes were those ammunition boots. They had the leather soles. So the leather sole doesn't wear off. They had put those nails there. There used to be 13 nails driven in there. I still remember those 13 nails. And if any of the nails is not there in your boot, you will get punished. So you have to take care of the boots also. Right? And when you used to get worn off also, at times you used to get hurt. So I remember we were in the last leg of our route march. There are about, I think, 20-25 kilometers left. So one of my batchmates, he had hurt his heel because of the nail. And he was bleeding like anything from the heel. And he could not walk because there was a nail there. So what he did was, we carried his bag. We said, don't worry, you give your bag. And he removed his heel out of the shoe and rested on top of the shoe and was walking like this. And right behind us was an ambulance. That's the last one. Last vehicle is the ambulance to pick up the stragglers there. The people who can't, cope. So they do that. Now this guy said, I am not going to sit in the ambulance. See where it is coming from. His father was in the army, other 4 siblings, and he was the 5th one to be 6 people from the Indian Army in the same family. He said, what will I tell my family that I took a lift from an ambulance and I could not complete my route march? He said, over my dead body. It's not going to happen.
So he just walked.
So he walked those balanced 20-25 kilometers with bleeding heel, and he could hardly walk. So mental toughness
and physical,
and then your physical strength coming to make sure that whatever you have decided will be achieved if you mentally decide what needs to be done.
Correct. And this is a great lesson for the corporate also, the people who are listening to us on this ttalk, Soch, the way you have been grilled in the Indian Army with a discipline and with dedication and keeping mentally and physically fit. If corporate on those times, if they put those kind of an efforts, the things are going to be different.
Absolutely. You see, as a leader, you will never be given a task which can be done by anybody. Then anybody else can do it.
Correct.
Then you are not required.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And to accept a task, to accept the challenge and do it better than what people can even think of. So you have to set those challenges mentally first and then rest everything. All the energy flows.
Correct.
When you mentally give up, the first one to give up is your body.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. So you will never give up. Like they say, never say die.
Correct.
Right. So that's what, like I gave in the previous episode, Maharaja Ranjit Singh never gave up.
Correct.
He said, if I have to die, I will die inside the river rather than on this side of the river. Because my general is stuck there. How come I can be here on this side of the river?
Correct.
He crossed it.
Correct.
He crossed it, defeated the Afghans.
Correct.
And then he was the one who installed the king of Afghan. He used to decide who's going to be ruling Afghanistan.
Correct.
It doesn't happen like that.
Correct.
It has to be complete sacrifice, dedication,
Correct.
and mental toughness.
Total commitment to the task as such.
Absolutely.
Good.
So that is what how the military academy makes a soldier out of you. You don't become a soldier by wearing a uniform.
Yeah, correct. You have to go through all those.
Wearing that uniform is a transformation.
Correct.
Because you will never be the same person what you were there earlier, because you're thinking differently, you're doing differently, and you are a team person. You never think about yourself. Your team comes first.
Correct.
Right? And in every way, like here in the corporate also, if you think of your organization first,
Correct.
right?
Then the things will go.
Then your team,
Correct.
right? Then yourself. Like the credo of the Indian Army is the safety, honor, and the welfare of your country comes first. And every time.
Correct.
Then safety, honor, and welfare of your men comes next.
Correct.
Then safety, honor, and welfare of your own comes last in every time.
Correct.
So it's a question of servitude. It's a question of service before self.
Correct. I think it's a great insight. So what we're getting from Professor Brigadier GPS Cheema, great learning from military. I'm sure, like in OTS, the kind of training which was imparted and the toughness which was there, and if you stick to your task, if mentally and physically you're fit, I'm sure like you can go through many challenges which are there. I think catch up with Professor Brigadier GPS Cheema on our next show of ttalk ek Boond Soch ki. Till then, go to www.ttalk.net, subscribe and like the channel as much as you can. So thanks a lot for being part of this show and sharing your valuable insights with your target audience. Thank you very much.